All right, man. I know people were saying, "Oh, you gonna change your pick?" Well, I never really made an official pick. Once I watch the film, it'll be an official pick, which I plan on doing the film breakdown on Patreon really soon. I will break it down on Instagram, but Mark Zuckerberg, they so anal about everything and shit like that. But hot as hell. But yeah, I mean, I had a talk with Modern Brutes, Adonis. Check his channel out. We was talking about this on Sunday, and I seen the video. I put it before the video with Bud working, and I feel like everybody looking at the speed, and that's cool. And the body, I think I think we talked about that as well. Like he knows what he's doing. So people don't really understand the body. They say, well, bodybuilder get whooped in the streets. You got to understand bodybuilding, strength training, and athletic training is different. They're all three different. Let me explain this real quick for you. Bodybuilding is symmetric. They're not necessarily strong. They look strong. That's why I always tell people associate muscle size all the time with strength. That's not the case. That's not the case. You know what I'm saying? Bodybuilders are building symmetric. So they want the best V shape going like that. So they're not focused on fast twitch. They're not focused on strength. They're focused on getting a perfect shape for the chest, the traps, the arms, biceps, triceps, legs. They want the perfect V shape. So when we talk about strength training, you're literally training for strength. And believe it or not, the basis of your strength is just as you see it from the ground up. Everything from the ground up, especially from the feet all the way to the core, that's your strength. That's your two strengths. So when people look at the lats, the bis, the tris, the traps, the delts, the rear delts, the chest muscles, and they associate bench pressing, and that's not real strength. Anything you do, mostly you're involving your legs and your core. So that's your true strength right there. So when you look at guys like Pacquiao and Crawford, even Mayweather, look at their legs. That's where your strength come from. And when you're talking about strength training, they're training for strength. Not necessarily in bulk, because you can train in reps. You can train, reps in endurance, intensity. You can train more on the bulky side of things, but that's going to give you more of a chance in a fight than bodybuilding. Bodybuilders, you know what I'm saying? Not saying they can't whoop you, but in the long run, like if it go past a minute or two, they're in trouble just as a fat motherfucker or a person that's out of shape. Athletic training, you're training towards something. So you're training for fast twitch, you're training for speed, reflexes, so you're looking more of explosive training. You see resistant bands, you see more lighter reps, which you exploding up, so you see more of the bands like this, or you see more of the calisthenics with more explosion. You ease down and you explode up, or you might just see negative and positive explode. So I say all that to say this. He knows what he's doing. He bulked around for a year. He didn't just put on weight. He walked around with it, got used to it, cut it up, and now all they're gonna do is get used to walking around bulky, acclimating to the speed. They're gonna strip it down where he's still gonna have that strength. He's still gonna be strong, but he gonna have that speed because he walked around bulky for a year like that, around a year. So he got used to, playing with his kids. He got used to, vacationing with the weight. He got used to, walking his dogs on the weight, doing everyday life shit with the weight, in the gym with the weight. So he got used to that. So now when you let's say he got up to 190, let's say you remove 30 pounds. You know what I'm saying? What you think gonna happen? You remove it in a 10 to 12 week radius, in a 10 to 12 week duration. What you think gonna happen? He gonna have that speed, but still stripping that 10. The thing about stripping down, if your body can handle it at this age, you're gonna strip that weight down, but you're gonna maintain that speed. You're gonna have the speed and still some of the strength. Because you're used to walking around with that weight, but also you didn't gain the strength. The strength don't go away in a 10 to 12 week training camp. The strength, you still keep a certain amount of strength. Benavidez has pretty much mastered that. But so I just want to speak on, if y'all didn't see the bulk video I did about Crawford. But in a particular clip, one thing we talked about even before I seen this clip was he needed to fight on the inside. That was my thing. And most people had a belief that when you fight a puncher, you need to run away from it. I always say that's the worst thing. I heard Andre Ward say you go to the puncher. You know what I'm saying? And that's the worst thing you can do is move away from him and put him on balance. That's the thing about it. If a puncher is on balance, if you got one of them punchers that's on balance, he can set his feet and he can generate that power, you're in trouble. And you moving, you know what I'm saying, backwards, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be only amount of time till he be able to set on you. So the reason you go to the guy and you fight this guy on the inside, and Mayweather did a lot of fighting with him on the inside, is because guess what? My hands are faster on the inside, right? I get inside his power. And I get to be able to have leverage on the inside. I notice a lot of guys can't fight on the inside. You see Earl Spence, Bud killed him on the inside. That's something I point out in film study. Spence stand up straight when he was on the inside. When you're on the inside, it's really a game of fundamentals. I heard somebody say this on the video, was on Instagram. He was showing Robert Mayweather work with an amateur. And he said there's no such thing as advanced boxing. And I agree. He said it's just mastering fundamentals. And I swear to God, that's the same thing in golf. I grew up playing golf. It's the same thing. It's the ultimate two sports of repetition. And people don't think of golf as a sport, but it is, because you got to walk that course. You know what I'm saying? You don't get in PGA, you don't get to ride the buggy. You got to walk that motherfucker. Walking the course and riding the buggy, it's two different things. I'll tell you that right now. It's two different things. So, but yeah, it's just mastering fundamentals. That's all boxing. That's all boxing and golf is. It's mastering the fundamentals. Mastering, when you get tired, can you keep your hands up? And one thing what Bud was doing in that video, he was fighting them they was working on the inside. They know he got some advantages on the inside. One thing he got advantage of, he know how to drop his weight. You seen Usyk. They know how to drop their weight and really get leverage where you can't push them down. And that's one thing about having a wrestling background. It really shows you how to leverage against bigger opponents. You know what I'm saying? It really shows you how to really squat down, how to really, play, how to knock arms down and how to get position and how to really squat down and really get that leverage. So, and also, guess what? If you get on the inside with Canelo, you slicker, you faster, your hands can get home faster. I believe he's the better fighter on the inside. Canelo is going to load up, throw one or two big shots. So when you get on that inside, you know what I'm saying? You close the gap. And with Canelo like to, be on platform and be on balance and throw one or two, three big shots. He throw the same combinations, and going on the inside is to show him a few things. Is that I'm stronger than you thought I was. I'm faster than you. My hands gonna get home quicker. Right? Right? And really to frustrate him. To show him I could push you back and fight him on the inside. You see what Mayweather did? He couldn't do nothing with it. So you're not gonna stand in front of him on the inside. You may not even make a home there. What you there to do is you there to really get off, show your hand speed, frustrate him, step over, make him reset his feet, run it again, feint him like you about to do it again, You know, make them gunshot step over. You really to frustrate them with the footwork and the speed on the inside. Able to feint them, get out of there, pop shot, feint them. You know, get out of there. Sometimes you sit there, you shoot shine, you throw, you wait for him to throw. You know, then you either you catch it, you know what I'm saying, or you dodge it. I wouldn't say you need to parry all the shots, or you just weave them and you deliver. You just catching and shooting. And then once you once you kind of got that going, you know, Adonis' theory is around the 4th, 5th, or 6th round, then you kind of keep him on the outside and you frustrate him because now he got to come to you. Now you start pop shotting him, feinting him, you know what I'm saying? Moving. Now he desperate. He looking for 1 or 2 big shots. And when he gets desperate like that, then that's when you start hitting him with the shots he don't see. And one thing I'm going to say, I don't think, and I could be wrong, I don't think Canelo has fought a combination puncher like Bud in his career. He hasn't fought nobody with that variety of punch, especially since Triple G as far as the punch variety. But that's that ability to put punches together. He ain't fought nobody like that. So Bud is probably gonna get on from watching that video. You know, Bud is probably gonna get on that inside. You know, he gonna get on the inside. I know he gonna drop the weight to show Canelo he's stronger. It's the center of gravity thing. He gonna get up under him. He gonna touch him to the body, touch him to the body. They gonna swim over, feint him. He gonna keep him guessing. He gonna punch, whoop, get, you know, and that's what they gonna do. They gonna step over, turn him, feint him, get off, turn him, feint him, catch, make him miss. You know, punch between his punches. I think that come a little bit later, punch, but on the inside, they gonna frustrate him with speed. They gonna frustrate him with feints. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna frustrate him, trying to push him back a little bit on the inside, touch the body a little bit. And they just gonna be in, and they're gonna just side to side. They just gonna do basic movement. Boop, 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 boop. You know, basic movement. He ain't gonna really be turning those shots over with power. It's just gonna be frustration. And then he get down a few rounds, and then he start coming in desperation. And then that's when you probably gonna really see Bud just throw one shot, get out the way. He really gonna start using his feet. And then once he had his mercy, and Canelo started to slow down because he got conditioning problems, then I think you're going to start seeing Bud trying to close the show if he's still around. He's going to start to close the show. He's going to start to walk him down. And Mayweather walk him down. But there's a difference between, and this could be the difference in the fight too, between Mayweather, Triple G, Beevil, Lara, and Bud. The difference between those fighters and Bud will go for the kill. Bud gonna go for the kill. But the only question that I really have is he can take the punch. He gonna get punched. Now, like I said, well, Mayweather didn't get, that's Mayweather. When he get punched, can he take the punch? And really, it's still a question of how he put the weight on. I'm starting to see like it's probably not gonna be no problem. But that's still a question of weight, how he take the punch. But if he can avoid the punch or take the punch, and he execute the game plan they working on, I think he could pull it off. But hey, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the link tree. It's the first link in the description. Follow me X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, the whole 9. Join the Patreon, Free Game 89 channel, Detroit channel. Peace.